All right. Here we're going to be talking about some football, talking about NFL draft moves, specifically in regards to the 49ers moving up. Dolphins went down, and Dolphins went back up. To the Eagles one. So that in its own right was certainly interesting in its own way, So, I don't know. Well, I do know, but all right. But yeah, certainly interesting in regards to like how that all went down. Oh, sorry, just sending it to people. But yeah, certainly going to be an interesting mix, or not mix, but interesting in its own way when we get to the NFL draft in the glorious, fabulous month of April, best month of the year. Or at least I say personally, because we have the end of March Madness, the NFL draft, and then late April on the 25th, my birthday, and other people's birthdays in April as well. The start of spring, other reasons why April is great. But anyways, I see Harlem Fresh is in the building.
Yo,
How you doing?
what's goody, my guy Stevie? How you?
I'm doing well. How's your weekend been?
Man, it's been a busy one. I've been a little bit of everywhere, but we maintain. We got to make moves to make things happen. You dig?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Speaking of making moves, the Dolphins are the busiest making moves
Oh
in
yeah.
regards to moving up and down that draft board.
Mm-hmm.
49ers moving on up, going all the way up to 3. What are your thoughts on those two
Um,
two trades?
I think I think they're trying to make moves early. Well, not even early, but they're trying to do things before the season actually starts, before the preseason kicks in and everything is all signed and sealed and the rosters is all done. I think they're trying to make moves to make a serious push to try to be a playoff threat or even just make the playoffs, but be somewhat of a threat because it's been a long time for them basically being known as a team that's a threat to anybody. I mean, when the last time have they really been a threat, honestly, to you?
I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't know. There might have been at some point in my lifetime, but I don't remember.
Yeah, see, exactly. So right now, it's just all about the general managers and the head coaches and everybody talking in office, and they try to play chess, put the right pieces in order because so far the pieces that they've been putting into play haven't been working for them thus far. Know what I mean? But
Yeah.
sometimes those pieces go to other places and they work out just fine. So it's like, is it the player or is it the management? So it's a slippery slope with that. But I think they're making the moves to try to be a serious contender or a threat in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would definitely say they're making smart moves in regards to the Miami Dolphins. The Eagles are just, it's like they're the year before of the start of the rebuild,
Mm-hmm.
but still getting to that phase of their life for that franchise. And then for the San Francisco 49ers, we got to remember not only, it was only 2 years ago from this day, let alone this year,
Yeah.
that the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, yes, in a loss, but winning and doing well in the Super Bowl and had a great season. And then with the COVID year and that season, what hit them was not just COVID stuff, was injuries. They were decimated and unable to recapture that magic to be one of the formidable foes that most were looking them to be coming off that other season, obviously, when you play in the Super Bowl and defending NFC champions. So I think the 49ers making smart moves there, whether they get a quarterback or not, I don't know. They could just be trying to go up to get their guy, whoever it is, whatever position it is, as
Yeah.
they had themselves, and grab there at 3, then waiting where they were originally to be drafting at 12. So, and for Miami, they were in. I don't know how to really phrase this in regards to the Deshaun Watson situation, but they are. I think NFL teams are waiting for the legal process to go through for Deshaun. Not looking good for him, but we gotta let things play out. If he is found guilty, and let alone 4 of the 12, then or any really, to be quite honest, one is already bad.
Yeah.
That he might have to. Well, he should then be out of the league. That's how I feel. If he is found guilty of any of them, because Colin Kaepernick's out of the league for other reasons, blackballed. Well, here you're getting something found guilty of it, and if that is the case, then what makes you any more deserving than a Colin in the league? So.
I agree with you on that, Stevie, but I don't think Deshaun Watson is guilty because I just find it highly ironic and a coincidence. All of a sudden, he wants to get traded, and he was squeaky clean. He didn't have no blemishes on himself. And then when he wants to leave the team, now there's an issue. All these cases come up, and not just 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. We talking about 20 plus. What are we doing, Stevie?
Yeah, 20 plus. 12, I think up to now 12 filed or whatever. So
come on. Are we serious with that?
It's a certain steep and ironic. It does sound kind of suspect.
Yeah. What a coinky dink.
But we have to let it go through, whether he's found innocent of every one of those charges, or he's found guilty of any of them. Either way.
Yeah.
As much as us or people in the media, let alone us here, the YouTube world, already former media, like to give our opinions, which is what we do. Here, I think, at least for me personally, I don't want to judge him guilty or innocent right now. I have an opinion and thoughts of where I think is going, but I just don't want to say one way and otherwise. So especially something serious like this, a legal matter, a serious matter, than having a difference of opinion of where he should go in the football things where that can be that can do and it always is for fun and whatnot. But the Bears, speaking of that, we focus more on they were trying hard for Russell Wilson. They were going to give their 3, which is the maximum they can only give, which is something I learned. You can only give up to a max of 3 first rounders for current year, next year, 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Any, upcoming draft. So I learned that. So they did that in the max with a player, and Seattle's still not budging to trade him. So they decided to go with the Red Rifle himself, Andy Dalton, who was with Dallas. What are your thoughts on the Bears? Trying to push so hard for Russ and getting Andy.
I feel like the Bears would have been better off trying to really get Cam Newton. I honestly feel that way. I feel like the Bears should have really tried to extend a way to get Cam Newton. I think that would have been a better fit for Cam Newton and the Bears in general. But Andy Dalton, I mean, I'm not going to discredit him or say he's a slouch, but I don't think he's the piece for the Bears at this point in time. I don't think he's the right fit for the Bears personally. He has to show me otherwise.
Right. Not like he's terrible, but in regards to who they were trying to go after, trying to be in the Deshaun sweepstakes, let alone actually pursuing Russ, not even taking a sniff at Cam Newton, who re-signed weeks ago with New England, or signed a 1-year contract with New England. So they exhausted their options of who they felt was best for them, and then with at least probably with Russell Wilson and trying to bring him to the fold. I heard this morning that here shortly the NFL will be approving to have a 17 game schedule starting this next season. So for the Packers, our game, our extra game that was put on our list, I think it's going to be an away game. We'll be facing the defending AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs. Will be our 17th game or the 17th game added. Whatever week it'll be actually scheduled, but our 17th game added. So I don't know what it is for the Giants, but what are your thoughts on that? Now being a somewhat unofficial official, or moving to 17. For me, I like even numbers. So if we were going to go up, go to 18 in a 19-week season. But 17, and that'll work. What are your thoughts on a 17 game schedule coming up here? Let alone the changes we already had last season with the playoffs.
With a 17 game schedule, I think it should be decent. It gives everybody the opportunity to probably try to sneak into as a wild card or into the play, for a playoff push. But it's also sacrificing the players for injury. The more games you play, the more there's more chance you have of injury. But it's a gift and a curse with that. But I don't mind it as long as people stay as healthy as possible. What say you?
I say kind of a long time coming. I have a problem with that. As I said, for me, selfishly, and I guess maybe OCD part of me. I would say low level OCD. I like the even numbers, so 18 would have been better. But I'm not like freaking out about 17 because it's out of my hands, for one. And two, I thought that it was time for a change in regards to the amount of games scheduled in a season. So fine to go up by one, slowly, maybe moving it up again in 10 years or 4 years from now, if they want to. Just like people have been talking about that for the college football playoffs, expanding it. It may expand and grow and fit a nice finite number. But here for the NFL regular season, I think 17 is just right for now. Just like having and adding the extra playoff teams for the playoffs that started last season during the COVID year, which I thought they were going to hold off until post-COVID or until later, but they didn't. So that's already been in play for one quote unquote season, one post season. But here with regular season, I'm fine with it. But I get what you mean, and I know players have. They've been saying it on Twitter of their displeasure of 17 games. But it was coming, and for me, I thought it was a long time coming. I'm looking forward to it. In regards to battling for the playoffs, that is true. But to me, it's like whether it's 16 games, 17 games, 18 games, 20 games, 1,000 games, whatever. There always is going to be that battle at the end for playoff positioning, whether you have that extra game to play or not. You're going to have, with the added playoffs, the added teams to the playoffs that started last year, make it even more of a battle and more teams in the mix. And I like that. I'm all about parity in any of the sports.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why the Nets are kind of annoying me right now in basketball. But anyways, here in football world, so with the parity, I'm fine with the 17. I'm good with the playoffs. I'm just ready to see everything run wild in the NFL of the next season. And, I know this is kind of not football related, but it can be. But I was just thinking in regards to my life, I see the light at the end of the tunnel in regards to COVID. I myself just registered to try to get, to sign up for a vaccine here in the state of Wisconsin. That might be happening, during my birthday month, at least at the first shot in April. I don't know if I'm doing the 1 shot or 2 shot, but either way, I'm getting a gosh darn shot. So, and going from there. But for me and for the USA, for the world, can get past in regards to getting past COVID. But then again, just like anything else, like the flu, like anything other serious or general sickness that anybody can get in their lifetime, it's always going to be there. But at least with a vaccine ready and able for years and years to come, in general, then life can get back to normal in your own personal life, in sports life, and other lives as well. So I just want to share that. But yeah, for the NFL stuff, I'm looking forward to seeing how that is. I guess for the offseason so far, how are you feeling about what your Giants have been doing or not doing so far in the offseason?
I got mixed emotions. I feel like I need the quarterback to play better. I need him to learn when to stay in the pocket, when to come out of pocket, and how to lead, how to guide his receivers to the ball, like how to like throw it and hit him in stride. I need more of that. We do need a little bit more pass protection. I think we stepped it up a little bit on defense. And then the return to Saquon is always a good thing. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for us to make a solid playoff push, but I just need my quarterback to look like he's been in the league for a couple of seasons now.
He has a new toy to play with, former Detroit Lions wide receiver Kenny Galladay.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
So hopefully that helps, and a healthy Saquon's going to help as well. So and hopefully the Giants can make a push. Dallas re-signed Dak and actually signing him. Good. Washington football team making some moves, and the Eagles just looking forward to the next season already. So, but we'll see how the race goes in your division, let alone here in the NFC North, with Mitchell Trubisky leaving the Bears, Andy Dalton joining the Bears, Vikings making moves, of course, Packers keeping people. Kevin King, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing him go, but I guess we kept him, so okay. Um, and but all in all, should be interesting in that front. But yeah, it's wild. I know for me right now, as much as I'm enjoying March Madness and doing my brackets and stuff, which are pretty much busted, I'm also looking forward to WrestleMania and WWE on the road to WrestleMania, which I have enjoyed the new app Peacock, NBC Peacock. So they have some other great shows that I've seen, Punky Brewster, Saved by the Bell, um, and whatnot. So Peacock itself is interesting. Well, um, seen some movies. I don't know what's the last movie you've seen, Fresh?
Last movie I really checked out was Coming to America 2. Oh no, I'm lying. The remake of Justice League. It was a remake of Justice League that
Oh,
somebody
Snyder
did.
Cut. Yeah, you saw
Yeah,
that.
I watched that. I watched that on the other night.
Do you watch it on HBO Max?
Nah, Fire Stick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I can't say like I just found out about HBO Max. I've heard about it, but um, I was changing some things up with my cell phone and getting new plans and whatnot. Same phone, new plans. That's why the number changed and went back and all that. I had to go back and forth in 2 days span. But anyways, my point is with the new plan, I have HBO Max for free because of my cell phone coverage. So yeah, I'm actually going to be watching that here shortly. The Justice League one. Um, I hope it's all right. But then again, I'm one, I would say, in the minority that enjoyed the original Justice League just as much as I enjoyed Suicide Squad original. So we'll see.
All right, Stevie, give me 1 minute. I gotta take care of something right quick. Give me one
Yep,
minute.
go ahead. Do whatever you need to do. But yeah, so for me, I like watching movies. I enjoyed all different types of movies. I mean, I have like a plethora of different type of like favorite movies. I know we're talking about movies, not sports, but might as well here. Um, like for me, I have 13 going on 30, and The Godfather 2 is my top two favorite movies of all time. And for me, my credential of top movies of all time are ones that I can watch for a full weekend straight on a loop without being annoyed or bored at all. So 13 going on 30 and Godfather 2 specifically beyond the Godfather series. Um, was it 2 or 3? I don't know. Maybe just the whole series. And those two. So anyways, back to football. Like this year is going to be very, very interesting in regards to in the NFL draft. Other trades that could be made, players be moving, um, and maybe even surprise move might happen on draft night. And surprise moves made in regards to who's drafted, right? Run on quarterbacks, or not. who and what and where and why and how that all is going to work and to what extent for the NFL draft. Either way, I'm looking forward to it all. It's going to be great. It's going to be dope. And it's going to be lit. And that's the bottom line because Steven here said so. But just because I said so doesn't mean it's going to be the case. But I know it's going to be fun and exciting to find out how it goes, whether it's quote-unquote chalk on the first few draft picks or not. There's always that surprise team, or it's either the surprise team that goes up and gets someone that you didn't expect, or it's the surprise team that stays in their position but picks someone that you're like, you look at your friend or your spouse or your family member, whoever's with you, or look to your side that no one's there. You're watching by yourself. And you're like, what? Who's that? Who's that? Okay, let's look him up. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know you wouldn't do it like that, but I'm just showing. Anyway, the point is that happens too. It's certainly going to be very interesting. But I'm looking forward to it, as I always am. Come on now. Always looking forward to it. Hold on. But yeah, sorry, I was just doing a video for my nephew. Here before he goes to bed, or put down to bed. He's 3 years old. His birthday's on Halloween. So that's cool. But yeah, anyways. Oh, I also want to promote. Alright, well, I don't know if he's able to come back or not. I'm pretty much done. I did get to hear some of his thoughts. I look forward to seeing how the draft goes. Look forward to how everything else goes. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Above all else, as always. Oh, no. Never mind, hold on. I wanted to promote Leah. Me and her will be having a channel together. It's one that'll be starting off more of like us growing closer and kind of just like chatting, like a general, like, hey, how's your day, or this and that, or Q&A, or stuff, or videos like that. Kind of like Rose and Rosie, even though it wasn't exactly like how your day, but just stuff they randomly talk about. And go from there. But that's what I'm gonna be doing again with Leah Parker. As we build us more and more, and then in the coming years, might change over to a different type of channel in regards to maybe vlogging and pranks kind of channel. But that's down the road. And like I said, that channel will probably be created here in April, but won't be starting posting until June when she finishes up with her school year here. But and for me, getting settled in even more so with my job. But yeah, back to football. Certainly going to be interesting to see what the 49ers do. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's a wild card.
Yeah, Jimmy G is definitely a wild card.
What are your thoughts on Jimmy G? Do you think the 49ers should move on from him, or should he really be the franchise quarterback in San Francisco?
I think it's time for him to move on. I think it's time for him to move on and like really build. They need to build a team around him. He needs to go somewhere to like maybe Jacksonville, the Jaguars, or some shit, or maybe I don't know. Maybe, who else is out there? Who else
Yeah,
could use a quarterback?
yeah. I mean, Jacksonville would need one, but I think the one that they're going to be drafting their franchise QB, and I don't know if Garoppolo. I mean, unless it's a trade, then you really can't have any say. But if he did have a say in signing with the team, if he was cut by the 49ers, I don't think he would sign there because of that fact. Because I think he would still want to be a starting quarterback. If he goes to Jacksonville, yeah, that might be a good fit for him. And I agree with you there wholeheartedly with Jacksonville. But I think Denver would be a better fit for him if with my thinking of starting quarterback opportunity.
Yeah, Denver makes sense. Denver makes sense.
I think Denver, and to be quite honest, Denver or Pittsburgh. I mean, I know Ben's in for one more year, but maybe Pittsburgh if they don't want to get one in the draft. Get that younger model in Jimmy G. To be at least a placeholder franchise quarterback, a placeholder starter, and a quality starter for the Steelers. But I think the best one, as I'm looking at the board over here of all the teams. Okay, no, Denver or Washington, I think would be the two best. The Washington football team, the Denver Broncos.
Didn't they just sign Fitzpatrick though?
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, but Mr. Fitzmagic's not there for next 3 years or whatever, how many he actually signed for, I don't remember. But I just think those two would be best. And I know you're talking about Jacksonville. He would have a better chance to win the starting job in Washington than he would in Jacksonville, especially when Jacksonville's giving Trevor Lawrence, he's number one overall quarterback or in the draft. So unless he really f's up in the preseason or something, or season career ending injury or something, you know what I mean? So I would say number one is Denver, number two is Washington. But what do you think would be his best places? I know we were already talking about Jacksonville. For you,
I would say Washington. Honestly, I would say Washington.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we'll see. He probably will be the quarterback this year, but into the future, I don't know. The future is unknown. If that's the case, Denver, Washington would be the best. Maybe Pittsburgh, if Ben actually does retire after next year, because he's trying to give one last shot where I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs, let alone anything more than that for Pittsburgh. But
he seems to have longevity. That's one thing. He got longevity because he's still in the league.
Yeah, hey, I respect that. I'm just saying, I don't think Pittsburgh is going far this year, let alone last year. So, but I do respect that. His staying power, just like Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, I should really do, at least from my end of topics here. From regards to the NFL, the big notes and trades. Already big ones already made. I'm sure big ones already or will be coming down the pike. Trades and signings and whatnot that we will talk about in our impromptu video.
Did we get an update on ODB? I mean OBJ.
I didn't hear anything. Did you?
Nah, I didn't get an update on OBJ. So
the only latest updates is here in Tampa Bay keep re-signing players. So
yeah,
but nothing from OBJ. I mean, hey, Antonio Brown's the last one left in regards to their major free agents that hasn't re-signed. So maybe the switch may be coming in regards to Brown being cut and OBJ being signed. But that's not anything obviously I heard. It's just been talked about, and I'm sure you've probably heard of inklings of Brady wanting OBJ or not or whatever. But
it's a high possibility.
Yeah, but as of actual updates, no, I haven't heard anything in regards to OBJ. Of actual news or actual updates. But the biggest news, at least as of today, being the NFL schedule news, moving up to 17. But I was going to say, if there's anything else that you wanted to bring up to the table, you're welcome to promote yourself, put yourself over, let people know. We can find you on YouTube and social media.
Oh man, they know how to find me. Harlem Fresh 125. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm everywhere, man. Twitch, all that good stuff. No Knockoffs Radio. Follow us, you know what I mean? Battle raps, hip hop, sports talk, we do it all. But definitely, I like to shout out to Stevie K, letting me come through and chop it up and talk a little bit football. And y'all will find him on my platform too. So it's all networking. But I'm waiting for the NFL to start. I think a lot of key moves are going to be made before the season really kicks in, and I think Buffalo Bills, they might actually surprise us this season. I think the Buffalo Bills might make a push a little bit further than what they actually did this year. And the Ravens need to definitely do something because right now they're not looking too good.
Yeah, they seem like they got worse by not doing really much, which means bad or good, by staying even. A team to look out for is the Los Angeles Rams for me in the NFC with their new quarterback. Matt Stafford. I know people are not poo-poo like, oh, why would you get Matt and get rid of Jared, and this and that. But Matt, being a workhorse that he is, in Detroit, not really having all the weaponry that he will have in Los Angeles, and being in Los Angeles as well. I mean, I know that's not a big point of it, but it is small to me. Point of the whole thing. I think we'll definitely see a different side of Matt in regards to playing style, not personality, but I mean playing, and see his actual ability with a team like that all around him, offense, defense, special teams around him, coach, and otherwise. So watch out for the Rams being a bigger contender than they already were last year, technically, getting that road winning in Seattle in the wild card round they did get. But anyways, everybody, obviously, you know where to find me. As I say each and every week, find me on Twitter at Army_strong_06 or at talking_Packers for the podcast specific Twitter account, on Instagram at StephenK_06 or at PackersMania_06. There, TikTok and Snapchat is DBK_06. And of course, Facebook on the fan page, Talking Packers with Steve, and like it there. Hope you all have the best and great rest of your evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching. Thank you for those that did stop by. Presley, as I saw. Thank you.
Yes,
And
yes,
all those
sir.
as well. But as above all else, as always, take care.